Hi everyone, it's Jennifer, also known as Jedidragoon. This is Jedidragoon Makes. I'm not sure what episode, I'll look that up when I put this on, so. Hope everyone's doing good. I've been off work for about a week now. Walmart was offering a leave that you could take because of if you're worried about the virus and stuff, and I went ahead and took that, so I'm off work for a while. Which should show in projects that I got a lot done, but no, I've been baking bread, doing schoolwork with the kids, and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's been fun. And I did get some new stuff in the mail, so I'll get that out and show it to you. First thing I got was I got my monthly yarn subscription to Lolo Did It, the Quotable Dumbledore Club. And this is the color that I got. This really dark green. It goes into a lighter green, and it's really pretty. I really need to start working on these and making some socks and stuff, but I just haven't got around to it. And this month's quote is, "Happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if one only remembers to turn on the light." And the color is happiness. I actually moved the sleeve so I could see what the color was this time. So that's my, and the base is her. L'Original, which is 85% extra fine superwash merino and 50% nylon. So it'll work good for socks. And I can't get that back together. So that's one thing I've gotten. And then another thing I got, because a lot of the yarn dyers are offering free shipping, and that works out great for me. I picked this up, not the last time I went to the wool gathering at Young's Dairy Farm, but the year before. This worsted weight Lehman Fiber Arts Harvest color. It's in their box office. And it's these really dark browns and pinkish orange and yellow and gray that I picked out that I fell in love with. And at the time I was working in the tire department, so I was going to make fingerless mitts. Shortly after that, I quit working in the tire department. So I no longer needed the fingerless mitts to keep my hands warm. So this didn't get done anything with. It's just been sitting in my stash. So I went and ordered when they offered the free shipping. I said I'd go ahead and order 2 complementary colors. This one is saffron. It's pretty much, to me, it's hunter orange. So I ordered the saffron, and I also ordered Gothic Queen, which is kind of a purpley, pinkish, dusty rose color is what I would call this. And so I ordered these because I've been wanting to make Jody of the Grocery Girls. She has a pattern called Stormy Skies Shawl. It's called for worsted weight yarn, and I think this would look really good. So I'll be doing that, and it'll probably be a color combination like this. So this is going to be really neat and colorful. I'm not very confident about this orange, but we'll go with it and see what it looks like. It should be okay. So if all else fails, I'll match my husband's orange fleece. So I got those. That's all I got. And then as far as finished objects go, I have 3 things. So one thing I did when I was first starting to have to stay home and bored, I decided I'd work on loom knitting. So I decided I'd loom knit a dishcloth. Which, as you can tell, the bind off isn't real good because I've never bound off on knitting loom other than like a hat or toe of a sock. So it's a little tight and I don't know how to fix it. But other than that, the rest of it's good. It's this broken rib stitch, which is kind of hard to see. because it's a color changing yarn. And this is Hobby Lobby's. I love this cotton. I'm not sure what color it is. I lost the ball band. But it's Easter colors. So it goes from blue to like a light orange to pink. And then back on through again. And it's a broken rib stitch. It's also been through washing machine. So it didn't shrink up too much. Which I have problems with that sometimes with when I do dishcloths. They shrink up. And they don't shrink this way. They shrink this way. And I still haven't figured out why they do that. And then another thing I finished was a pair of socks. These are Premier Yarns Jedidragoon Norville Serenity sock. I don't know what color it is. I lost the ball band. But I needed to finish these up. Somebody wanted to see what it looked like. I did E-wrap the whole way, so it's a little quicker. They're kind of on the loose side, but my solution for that is just send them through the washing machine to get them to shrink up. So these have been through a couple times. They probably need to go a couple more before they shrink up to where they fit pretty good. I'm finding out I like the socks that I do on the Loom that do the East U-wrap stitch a lot better than like the E-wrap or even my hand knit ones. They fit, they're a little snug, but that works perfectly for me. So there's those. They go from this dark teal to this spotty stuff. I think this is supposed to look like Fair Isle or something, but it doesn't really. To a dark purple, to a lilac or lighter purple. That might be lavender. To this dark purple, bluish purple, and then on back down. Nice self-striping yarn. I almost got the stripes to match up. Not quite, but almost. And they're the same length, so that's a plus, was them being the same length in the leg. And then today I decided my husband's been sewing masks for when he goes to work, the medical face mask. You can look on Instagram and all that for people who've been doing that. He's been sewing those side by side. Well, since he has the sewing machine out and I have easy access to it, I don't have to dig it out. I'm going to try and make me a bag, a drawstring bag. And it kind of worked. This is the finished product. I only had ribbon on hand, and it's only on one side because of how I did it. But you draw it closed like that. And I only screwed up a tiny bit. I'll go ahead and show you guys. Yeah, it's probably not supposed to look like this. But the front looks good. And it's Shopkins, and my daughter has already wanted it. So I might put this down to practice, let her have this, because I'm not sure what she's going to do with it. She's going to be 6. So who knows? She liked it. She wanted it. And I figured she can put doll stuff, toys. We'll give it to her for her birthday. She'll forget about it by then, but that'll work. So that's another thing I got done. And me and the sewing machine are not friends still. I'm slowly getting there, but yeah, it's more like America's Funniest Home Videos than an actual good sewing tutorial watching me sew. Knitting, crochet, that all comes more natural. Sewing, Jenny versus machine. And if you hear sewing in the background, that's just my husband. Okay, on to things I am working on. One of the things that has taken up most of my time that I've really enjoyed doing is my fair project. I haven't shown this in a while because I wasn't working on it because I got frustrated because I screwed up and then I tried to fix it and then I decided I'd just deviate from it. None of that worked. I have a little bit OCD. And so instead, I started off fresh. I think the last time I showed this, it might have been like right here in the green. But I have gotten this far. I've started squaring it up. As you can see, I'm starting to square up the corners. And this thing's going to be huge. So, This is the Sophia's Universe Cow. I'm just using Red Heart yarn and mainstays. Just anything I have in my stash that's the right colors. I think this right here is Karen Simply Soft. So I'm just pulling out scraps and using them up. Once I get this squared up, I'm going to probably do a border of black so it looks like a stained glass window and go from there with it. But it has like treble crochets, and I found out there's such a thing as a double treble crochet. There's been a lot of what the heck is that stitch? Me going down to Google, looking it up for a picture, because I can't learn from videos. I gotta learn from a picture in a book or something. So I learned there's a double treble crochet, which is like, 1, 2, how many times do I wrap this? 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, whatever. And then it has like these bobble stitches, which are apparently different than popcorn stitch. Or is this pop? I don't know. It's one or the other. It's a little nubby. And then I learned how to do these petals and all sorts of fun stuff. Oh, and in case you're wondering, the reason I started this was I wanted a challenge. I'm wondering what I was thinking at the time. So, yep, that's coming along good. I even have the ends woven in. Oh, except for the last color. That hasn't got woven yet. But I figured I better start weaving them in or else I'm going to be really frustrated by the end of this project. And then I started on an Afghan for my daughter, which I've only gotten 1 square done. But this is how far I've gotten. I got 1 square done. For her, I'd probably need about 9 of these. But I'm just going to keep using up some of my Karen cakes that I have and make a Afghan for her. It's probably going to be outlined in green because she told me she wanted to make sure I was putting green in it since that's her favorite color. So, I'm just using an eye hook. I'm doing corner to corner. Simple corner to corner stitch. Nothing fancy. I like the corner to corner because it makes it nice and flexible. Unlike how crochet is kind of stiff at times. This is nice and flexible, and it works out really good. What else have I been working on? I'm fine. I have allergies. I don't have the virus, so. I also been working on my virus shawl for church, which at this point I'm not sure when I'm going to get it to church, but I'll have it done. So, this is my virus shawl. I've been working on it. I've been using a size eye hook. I've been using this Ferris wheel, Lion Brand Ferris wheel yarn in the color Imaginary Garden. And it's this real interesting color that goes from like a dark green to a reddish color, and it keeps mixing in and blue and light green, and it's really pretty. And it's been working up really good in this virus pattern. So this is going to look good when it's done. I think I only have like 1 more row to go. Well, 1 more pattern repeat, and then it'll be done. So this next time it might be finished object. So that is what that looks like. Shove all this back in there. Bag's not quite big enough, but I don't really have a bigger bag I have to use. And since I started on my daughter a blanket, I decided I would start on... Is this going to come out easy? No. Okay. Decided I'd start on a project for my son. Patrick has his blanket. This is for Matthew, my oldest. And I found the free pattern by Stephen West called the Garter Squish Blanket. And this is how far I have gotten. It's basically garter stitch with an I-cord. And like I said, it's free. You just hold 2 things of yarn together and use these like size... What size were these? Size 15. Or if you like millimeter, which I just got the needles mixed up. Yeah, just look it up. They're US size 15. But yeah, it's a squishy blanket that's just working up really nice. I have like 2 or 3 different types of blue since he loves blue. So it's soft and squishy, and he'll really love this. And it also works really good if you're watching a movie because it's mindless. I barely have to look at it, which is great. It's also kind of boring, but it's going to get done. And the other thing I have been working on, which is living in this giant bag that I got from Fate's Thread. It's her sweater bag, which doesn't have a sweater. It just has a bunch of sock odds in it. And I'm working on my Cozy Memories blanket. Mainly because when I haven't felt like working on stuff, I've been working on it. So, I now have almost 5 squares. I just started this one. These two are Felici, and it's really weird because this one is nice and soft and flexible. This feels really stiff and like it's heavily painted. That's the only way I can describe it. And this one's just, I ran out of the color, so I started gray. And this one, the dyer's no longer dyeing. It's No Maker's something where they take the yarn that's some dye that's left over and mix together and toss in a dye pot special or something. But anyway, I've been working on this. I'm trying to get it long enough so I know how long to make it. And I just have a bunch of sock scraps and other stuff in here that is going into that. And that is all that I've been working on. And honestly, I'm ready for school to be back in session, which it probably won't be for this year, judging by how things are going. And we got computers for our kids from the school and all that, and we're just trying our best to do their schoolwork and schooling and keep sanity, which sometimes is a lot harder than it sounds. And I was working at Walmart up till last Saturday, week ago on Saturday was my last day. I took 2 weeks, and then I got to call them and take another 2 weeks. It's a big process, so I'm just hanging in here. I had a virtual knit night with some friends on Zoom, and that was fun, and I got to talk to people and stuff. Some other moms and stuff, and they're all going through the same thing I am, so that's kind of nice. I didn't feel so alone. And I've been stress baking, so I've made cakes and bread and a lot of bread, and I also tried making sourdough bread. That did not turn out as well. I have stuck with my mom's recipe ever since because I think that'll work better. Yeah, sourdough bread is about like me with the sewing machine, so yeah, so that's not going anywhere at all. But I do have 2 jars of my mom's starter in the fridge, which probably wasn't the best idea to start 2 jars of those at once because I have a whole lot of sourdough starter. And we were eating bread like crazy. Now we're eating other stuff that doesn't require bread. So we might have some bread with dinner with the chicken, but who knows. And I also found that you can use bread dough to make cinnamon rolls. So I may make another batch of cinnamon rolls. I don't really need the cinnamon rolls. I just like them, so. And everybody else does too. So that's all that's going on here. I hope you guys are staying safe, and I hope somebody enjoys this video. Thanks for watching. If you like this, please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you next time. I might do this in a week. Who knows? We'll see. Just how it's going. These things do not come natural to me, but I try. So, hope you have a good day. Bye.